Good morning, everybody. Jack Leeson with StartupTrading.com. It is 9:07 here, 5th of March. Title of the video is traditional. So yesterday's premium and discount levels, guys, were I don't even know what the statistical probability of me actually nailing those yesterday in the NQ. I've changed them. My discount's actually higher today, but yesterday we were right on the low with that discount level, and we rallied all the way up to the high. And I was using the midpoint of the prior day. Once again, does that indicator proving to itself its value? So yesterday's midpoint, it was the high of the day. And it was a 600-point rally to get there. That was also a value area high, and it was the midpoint on the prior day too. Now today we're going to be opening up here at this midpoint, and it very well could come into play and act as support initially off the open. It is a battle of traditionals. You have the swing high of Monday to low, and the what's it called here? And then yesterday's swing low to high. So the midpoint of yesterday is right where we're trading, and it absolutely could be acting as support for the remainder of the day. What I'm going to be anticipating, if we break down below this, I'm expecting us to get the 78% of the range at some point. I'm not quite sure we're going to push through with news in 2 days. I don't really think we have the momentum to continue selling here. I do think yesterday's extension target hit is probably going to hold us on the low for some time being, until at least the news event. Now, we normally, when we're in an extension series, the the lows of 1045 to low, we saw this trade. I mean, basically, we've been selling off since rollover. Or is that rollover? What am I talking about? No, what is that line? It's not rollover. Anyway, so we had this extension once, twice, 3 times, and then 4 times to target. The 5th time has not traded. We have not gotten that level here. That level is going to be all the way above us. The 38% retracement at 20,786. Now, yesterday, we rallied to the 61 of this traditional in the NASDAQ, and the ES traded that 50 perfectly. Now, what you'll see is, even though we traded that 61, it was just a squeeze up to, I guess, the midpoint. We ended up sticking this halfway back short for the entire overnight session. Going into Trump's speech, we came into a retest of a long, rallied back into it, and now we're at the midpoint. So I think right now, initially off the open, we're going to have a battle between the midpoint, the halfway back here, which is 20,400 roughly, and then the highs of the range, 20,598. If we can get above the 20,598, I would expect there to be pullbacks that lead us up eventually into the 20,786, and then I don't think it's getting to today, but eventually that 20,100 level. So we'll see. Maybe there's, of course, tariff comments, etc., continue to impact the market. But as we go into the open, the positioning where we are, I'm leaning long from this area. And then if we cannot hold this zone and start losing, that panic yesterday, and I really anticipating that panic we saw yesterday to hold here off the open. I do not think we should get back below, but if we do, I wouldn't look at any potential long setup until we get down to the discount. So the discount premium levels, discount's going to be the 78% of the range, and the premium's going to be the 38. Those are always, and I'll continue to say it, those are going to be the best areas where we have the highest chance of making a bigger move. And yesterday was a great example. Go ahead and load yesterday's levels. I mean, that discount premium was spot on. Now, we're not going to trade them every day. Hopefully, we at least trade one because that gives you an opportunity. But those are going to be the levels. If you're not looking for anything or want to see a reaction as long, wait for us to trade above that upper mid. If we can get above that upper mid orange line, then pullbacks I think would start to engage here in the Nasdaq. Moving on to the S&P 500. Now the S&P, that we still have this 5774. Let me go out to a daily chart, show you guys what that is. This 5774 is a big old traditional from the lows of September. Okay. And yesterday we finally kind of came down into it after the ES. Then ES was still holding on to extension. We finally broke down on it yesterday. But here, this morning, we're going to be retesting that, and I'm using the, let me move a couple things around, the premium, just like the Nasdaq, the ES, it's that same anchor new low, 38% retracement. It's right above the high. Yesterday, the ES ran right up into, the full halfway back short from Monday's high, halfway back short for the week. That was the high. It coincided with the Nasdaq hitting value area high, the Nasdaq hitting the midpoint, and that's what that ES held. So everything above 58.72s, if we get up there, I would not be interested whatsoever in a long. And then I'm using, once again, I don't really think yesterday's lows are going to get taken out here unless we really would have to have an explosive move higher in the VIX to get that going before the news event. But the 78% of this range, I don't think we should get below here today. And come on, there we go. I think some is dragging. All right, my fingers are just frozen here. One moment. I don't know what's going on, but my thinkorswim is not reacting the way I need to, so I can't finish my trade plan here, so I can't do anything with it. But I'll basically finish my thoughts and then do it on Squawk. But we're down here near the discount. I am anticipating, I think the thing to look for is a rally above the midpoint here and then pullbacks for the ES. 58.14s is going to be that level, and if we can get above that midpoint in the ES, it was support and then it was resistance we broke. If we get back above it, then I think you can begin engaging longs, looking for a move back to the top of the range here today. I do think we're going to trade back to the top of the range. But with that being said, I'll share these levels with you guys in the room after I restart my thinkorswim because it's not working, and then I'll jump on the Squawk.